Yes, plenty of stuff in the news this morning. The first official portrait of King Charles III has been vandalised by animal rights activists.
Really?
Yep, so this is an interesting one that actually I feel like there is a connection between the actual, the picture and who's representing the picture, King Charles III, and what they're doing, because animal cruelty at a number of farms certified by the Royal Society for Protection of Animals has been kind of exposed. Yeah. So at least there is a little bit of a connection. It's not just a random painting they're vandalising for attention. There is a connection between that and the Royals and animal cruelty. So I guess that's why they're doing it.
Yeah, right. What did they do to vandalise it?
It's really interesting as well what they've done. They put a picture of Wallace from Wallace and Gromit on the face of King Charles and done a quotation about him talking about cruelty of animals. So, and also a reference to him liking cheese. Yeah, so it's a mixture. Hey, if you like Wallace and Gromit and you like, standing up to the man.
Can we get your best Wallace and Gromit cheese impression?
Nah.
Oh,
maybe later.
You're no fun.
Jeez. There you go. We've also got the Singapore Airlines flight, Tom, the big one that had a lot of turbulence, always had a bit of a crash and everything. One man died of a suspected heart attack and a few brain and spinal injuries on board that flight. It was a massive one. There were a few Australians on there too.
Yeah.
There have been everyone that has received an injury, even a minor injury, has got $15,000 compensation back.
Oh, wow.
Which is good that they've got the compensation. Obviously, there's the discussion that it should be more money, but at least they've got something there to begin with.
Yeah, absolutely.
And over in SA right here, really interesting, there is now a rule and a document being passed to say that adult shops and adult entertainment clubs can't exist pretty much outside of Hindley Street.
Oh, really?
So there's a buffer zone pretty much to say that as well. If it's within 50 metres of a childcare centre, primary school or place of worship, it can't be there. However, this also means anything outside of Hindley Street at the moment that does exist, any adult shops and stuff, they won't be removed. So if it's there before, they'll stay. Yeah, just for forthcoming things, any new stuff.
Only Hindley Street.
Only Hindley Street.
So with all the nightclubs shutting down, there's going to be just more and more adult shops opening up on Hindley Street.
Yeah, it could be like the new Vegas, I guess.
It would be like the red light district.
Our Tom Callum's Adult Entertainment Club in Harndorf will have to halt its construction because we can't have it up there.
So I'm sure we could get a lease on Hindley Street.
Yeah.
It's coming soon.
Tom, we truly live in a world where we have everything. And one of those things that we have plenty of, that we're seeing a lot more of as the years go on, is takeaway food.
Yeah, the convenience of getting takeaway is getting concerning.
Out of hand.
Any time of the day or night, just by a couple taps on your phone and you could have whatever you want.
See, a few years back, I think you would have finished that sentence, takeaway food is getting advanced, good, expanse. Yeah. Now it's just concerning, right?
I mean, between all the apps you can get takeaway on as well, like Uber Eats, then you have the Macca's app, the KFC app, the Domino's app, the Hungry Jack's app, which I have all of.
Yes, there's so
You never
many
know
apps.
what kind of deals they're going to have on the app.
Yeah. Well, you have to have all of them, right? And it is getting out of hand, isn't it, that there's heaps of these apps and all these different takeaway food that you can have. And with everything getting so expensive, really it is sometimes easier to knock off one of the specials that's advertised on one of these apps as opposed to going to one of the big supermarket chains.
Genuinely, though, it does sound insane, but sometimes you can find a pretty good deal on one of these apps for the takeaway. And it's almost cheaper than going and buying your groceries to make dinner.
Oh, I remember it will go down as one of the historic speeches of our time when I was at the pub and told everyone, no, I will not get a Euros ingredients from the supermarket. I've got a place around the corner that does it cheaper. Why wouldn't I just do that?
Yeah.
People were baffled and shocked. Yeah. But it's cheaper.
Hey, it's a smart way to do things sometimes.
Yeah.
But not all the time.
Not all the time.
Sometimes.
And not all the time, because sometimes it does get really expensive and you go a little bit overboard with the takeaway food.
Absolutely.
I mean, last night I got a duo takeaway order. I'll admit, 2 separate cars, 2 separate orders at different times.
2 separate orders? What did you order and then realise, oh, damn, I forgot the garlic bread?
So I'm not proud of this one, but this just shows how much of a luxury we have it at the moment.
Yeah.
That I ordered a bunch of pizzas.
And you got it delivered. You didn't even go get it.
Yeah, so it's delivered. Yeah.
Peak laziness here.
So one car comes with all the pizzas and everything. Then my roommates thought, oh, yeah, we'll get a bunch of drinks and stuff. some bubble tea, so ordered a bunch
Bubble tea and pizza?
It's a weird mix.
Yeah, that is a bit strange.
But she ordered that, so it was coming in a separate Uber as well, and coincided and got delivered.
Yeah, right.
And it's just one of those things. You're like, wow, what a luxury we live in to do this. But then you look at the bill. Holy hell! Spent a lot on takeaway food. Almost cracked on over 100.
Over 100?
Almost. Yeah,
Almost.
It was about like 92 with everything.
Yeah. And was that just for the pizzas, or was that with the drinks included? Yeah, everything. Oh, that honestly doesn't sound as bad as what I thought. How many pizzas did you get?
2.
2? You got a garlic bread?
Yeah.
And how many drinks?
2. Yeah. So it wasn't terrible, but $90 still, when you don't need to spend that, can be a little bit hefty.
Yeah, I mean, I bought us all a Macca's brekkie the other morning, and I think that was 3 meals, and that added up to about $65.
Yeah.
And I thought that's pretty insane for just 3 meals.
Catches up.
But we want to go to the text line. How much did you spend on takeout? Even if you went and picked it up to make it a bit cheaper, how much did you spend? Let's find the person right now in Adelaide who spent the most amount of money on takeout. And we're getting some texts come through. Callum, somebody's texted in here saying they spent $103 on Nando's because I was craving that succulent chicken.
Yeah, nice. Good stuff.
I don't know how you rack up a bill of $103 at Nando's, though,
And
right?
also no explanation if there was other people or just yourself.
Just yourself, yeah. How much chicken are you getting?
It's a key part of that story. This one here, $300 in 3 months on Zambrero. Got a teen daughter from Anonymous.
There you go.
Wow, it's heaps, isn't it?
$300 in 3 months on Zambrero is a lot of money. Yeah,
good stuff though.
Hey, let's go to Oliver over in Unley. Oliver, good morning, mate. How you going?
Yeah, I'm good, thanks. How are you?
Great.
Yeah, good. Now, Oliver, how much did you spend on the takeaway?
I spent $180 in one go at Sushi Train.
Wow,
Uber Eats.
180.
Were
Oliver,
you getting platters? What were you doing?
Oh, it was just a bit of everything. It was a really, really long day at work, and I was like, I'm just going to treat myself. So I got just a bunch of everything, and that's what it added up to.
Oliver, so that's just you, right?
Just me. Look, I did save some of it for, like, meals for the following days, but, like, all for me.
Before
I
yourself.
Can think all of it. Yeah.
Oliver, I feel like half the fun of Sushi Train is going to the Sushi Train and taking things off the train. Did you make your own train at home? Did you make your own fun, or you were just eating it like normal sushi?
No, unfortunately, just normal sushi for me that time.
And Oliver, did you put a road blockage on the actual train at Sushi Train just so it would stop and you could just collect the plates?
No, I didn't.
Oliver, how many
no.
plates? How many plates is that though?
It was quite a few. There was a decent amount of takeaway boxes in the bag, but yeah, I'm not sure how it would equate to number of plates.
Great stuff.
Good on you, Ollie. Thanks for getting involved, mate. Let's wrap things up with Carly and Moana. Carly, good morning. How are you?
Hey, good, thanks. How are you guys?
Very
Very
good.
well.
Carly, we've got word from our producers. We don't know much about this, but apparently it's pretty crazy. What happened? How much was spent on takeaway food?
Oh, I can't believe I'm actually having this conversation with you guys because this was last night that
Wow.
I had to actually deal with my friend who's fortunate enough to not have any living expenses.
Right.
But he's recently changed his job for more money because he's complaining how he doesn't have any money, he doesn't know what's going on, he just doesn't understand, and he needs more money. And we're like, well, what's going on? Like, let's go, we'll go through your bank statements, go through your expenses, what's going on. And I'm not even joking you. The over $900 a week that he gets was all on Hungry Jack's, Macca's, and...
Oh! How does he spend $900?
Wait, in a week?
He every week. Every week. He doesn't cook. And he says that he reckons he just probably shouts out too many people, and his phone bill is $5 a month, so he has no expenses.
If he was just doing $100 a day on takeaway, it would only be $700. So it's insane, isn't it? Have you had the privilege of having takeout with him, and he just gets everything?
Well, this is how it started because he bought me KFC last night.
Oh, great stuff, generous bloke.
I gotta say
yeah,
that.
so...
The most worrying thing about all of this, Carly, is that he's spending $900 a week on takeaway food, and he's not even getting gourmet food. He's getting Hungry Jack's, Macca's, KFC.
So,
how much is this guy eating?
It'd be a lot of it.
he's really skinny too, and he's a diabetic as well. So that's I know that hasn't probably helped.
Oh, just give this bloke the crown. I think he's won. Tom, we are talking hot dogs right now and hot dog records.
Hot dog.
Just getting into that Brooklyn, New York hot dog mindset.
That drawl.
That street vendor lingo. But it's come with a great shock that Joey Chestnut, one of the big representatives for hot dog eating, one of the world record holders,
yeah,
he really point there.
He really put competitive eating on the map. He's won the hot dog competition, the Nathan's famous hot dog eating contest, 16 times, and as of currently 8 years running in a row.
It's huge. And if you look at his stats, right, he has held a record at a certain point for eating 66 hot dogs with the bun in 12 minutes.
Yeah, so last year he won it off 62 hot dogs.
Yep.
But yeah, 66 is his all-time high, which is an insane amount of hot dogs. I reckon I could get maybe 2 down before I'm calling it quits.
It doesn't take much, but
that guy's guts would be bad.
It'd be horrible. And also considering that this isn't just a once-off, he would have to practice every time and, lead into it. But
it's not like a seasonal sport. It's not like footy. It's only in the winter. It's like this is a year-round thing. You have to constantly be practicing.
I feel like you're constantly, expanding your stomach just in preparation for this. But it's really interesting that he was going into the contest for Nathan's famous hot dog eating contest.
Yeah, it's over in Coney Island. It's like the biggest hot dog eating contest of the year.
And it falls under what I didn't realise is a big sports representative company called MLE, Major League Eating. It's just like this huge company.
Yeah.
And
so it's our new favourite sport, obviously.
Yeah. And if you haven't watched it, definitely check it out. It's very patriotic American to see Joey Chestnut perform. They have the American flags going. They're smashing the hot dogs.
There's even an Aussie that goes in each year, and he goes pretty well. He's usually hitting that top 3, but it's hard to beat Joey Chestnut. He is just an absolute gun of the hot dogs.
Yes, but Joey Chestnut has now, everyone, received a little bit of controversy. He has received controversy because he's tagged up with another hot dog company and he's been booted off Nathan's famous hot dog eating contest.
Yeah, he agreed to a sponsorship deal with Impossible Foods. You might have heard about them before. They do that Impossible burger, which is a completely vegan burger, but it tastes amazing apparently. Well, now they're doing plant-based hot dogs, and he's teamed up with them. Now, last year, Nathan's hot dog eating contest offered him $1.2 million American dollars to sign on for 4 years.
Yeah.
He's turned it down. He's gone to Impossible Foods, so he is ineligible to compete in this year's July the 4th tradition Nathan's hot dog eating contest.
And what the hell are with these trades? Like it's a baseball or, a huge sport in America and they're taken so seriously in this league of eating.
Yeah, it's like he's gone from the Premier League over to Liga BBVA. Yeah. I love this one thing. I'm on the ESPN article of it right now. I love, first of all, how it's made ESPN. But second of all, this comparison that the event organizer George Shea said, it would be like Michael Jordan saying to Nike, I'm going to represent Adidas too.
It's not.
It's nothing like Michael Jordan. The guy eats hot dogs for a living.
Like
We all sort of make mistakes.
Yep.
Right? We all do a bit of an idiotic thing from time to time, but it's hard to admit it when you do.
Sure. It's like the brain fog turns into a thick mist sometimes. Your wiring just doesn't work. Your brain doesn't work. And you stuff up.
I tell you what, though, this last week, I've just been hitting the nail on the head doing stupid things.
Yeah, mist season.
Yeah.
It's been a bit too foggy up there.
I mean, last night, for example, I was on my way to footy and I'm driving, get halfway down McGill Road, probably about 5 minutes away from home already, and then I realised, crud, I left my footy boots at home.
Yeah,
so I had to turn around, get them, leave again, get at about the same point, and I'm like, crud, I've left all the clothes I meant to bring back for some of the boys that I borrowed. Had to go back. Then, halfway down again, I realised I've still got all my jewellery on and watch and everything. I have nowhere to put them.
Yep.
So I had to drive back again.
So how long was the trip back and forth, though? Was it a tough trek? Or?
I'll put it like this. I left at 20 to 6, and then the first time, and then by the last time of me leaving, it was about 5 to 6.
It's a big haul.
Yeah, it was It's a real stupid moment.
See,
by me.
it seems almost a way to get out of footy training. But
I was looking for any excuse.
Discussion for another time.
Yeah. I mean, it didn't even stop there yesterday. When I got home from work, I realised I'd been wearing my shirt inside out the entire day.
I've done that. And it is embarrassing as well. And then you think, who are my friends at work that who didn't say anything?
I mean, I'm looking at you right now. We spent the most time together at
I didn't
work.
notice. I'm the guy that also wears the shirts back to
Yeah,
front.
true. I shouldn't put that kind of pressure onto
Nah,
you.
exactly.
Hey, look, I do want to open up the text line here, Callum. What was your idiot moment, Adelaide?
The sum of the square roots of any two sides of an isosceles triangle is equal to the square root of the remaining side.
That's a right triangle, you idiot.
And, sometimes it's a hard one. You don't want to admit it. But, hey, everyone has a bit of brain fog. Everyone stuffs up and has that idiot moment. And it's good to admit it. Get it off your chest.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like no one's going to text in because no one wants to admit to their idiot moments.
No, I feel like no one will. It is a hard one to say, hey, look, put your hand up. I did this. But we know for sure it happens. Let's have a laugh about it.
I mean, I had another idiot moment as well over the weekend, didn't I?
Yeah, it was a bit of a big one. We were sitting there at my place, and you said, "Hey, I didn't realize that the meaning of life is 42."
No, I said.
Was that on it?
I was like, I know the meaning of life is 42. I just don't know why.
Yeah,
and then you had
that's
to
right.
inform me that it's not the meaning of life.
It's from a movie.
The answer to the ultimate question of life, the universe, and everything is 42.
Yeah, I think someone told me that in primary school, and I'd never watched Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, so I just ran with it.
Yeah.
To this day.
Purely fictional, isn't it?
It was almost 20 years of running with the idea that the number 42 is the meaning of life.
It was a book, then a movie, all pure fiction.
I really didn't think people would text in. I did not think people would stitch themselves up with this one.
No,
but
I didn't either.
I'm glad they have. They've come out firing. The first text here: ordered a margarita at a place in the city thinking it was going to be a cocktail. Massive margarita pizza comes out. Of course, I ate it, but would have rathered the drink.
Just looking at the pizza, so is it alcoholic or
Yeah, where's the lime?
Is this a funny way to do a cocktail concoction or what's the go? Someone said getting married was my biggest goof up. Hey, funny one.
Is it?
filthier.
It's honestly just a bit sad. Got another text here. I have at least one idiot moment a day. Worst one was I was reheating some pasta and I left the fork in the bowl, blew up the work microwave.
I had one of those moments a few years back. I chucked like a bit of cutlery in the bowl and someone stopped me before it happened. They said, "You're joking, right?" And I was like, yeah. It's a gag.
Of course. Yeah.
Just a practical gag. I wasn't going to explode the microwave.
Another text going in here. Morning, boys. Unfortunately, can't take a call right now. However, the other day, I went to the shops with my mum, parked up, got out of the car, and went to walk inside. Mum stayed in the car, looking at me like I was mad. Turns out I hadn't turned the car off and I was just ready to walk into the shops with the car running and all.
Look, that's just when you come up with a great excuse and say I was heating up the car.
Yeah. I was just letting you put a window down, Mum, while you stayed in the car.
Exactly. This one here.
I hope they put the handbrake up at least.
Hopefully. Someone said I put a block of cheese into the cake I was baking thinking it was butter. Tried to microwave it to melt. I couldn't figure out why it was taking so long. Then I smelled it. Hey,
cheesecake.
Not a bad cheesecake. Is that, I mean, maybe me and Tom are idiots, but is that not how you make cheesecake?
And finally, we've got this text come through. For Easter this year, my partner and I were invited to his auntie's place and we were asked to bring desserts with us. We couldn't go empty-handed, so we went out and bought them. And on the way to his auntie's, we got onto the highway and realised we left the cakes in the fridge at home. We had one job and couldn't even do that.
Can't leave the cakes. What are you doing?
Crazy. Callum, over in Missouri, they have come down with a serious case of boomer energy.
Really? Okay. Missouri for a change. Let's hop over there.
Yeah, we're traveling all the way to St. Louis in Missouri, where a restaurant has opened for a mature, sophisticated dining experience. They have put in place an age minimum.
Okay, yeah, so a bit of a ban there that people of certain age just can't go in.
Yeah, so, you'd probably thinking, well, like most pubs and clubs, 18.
Sure,
right?
yeah.
Or 21 in America, I suppose.
Yeah, let's get rid of the teenagers is what my mind is going towards for this one.
But you'd be dead wrong because they don't want any young people coming through. In fact, there's an age minimum for women. You have to be at least 30 years old to get into this restaurant.
Yep.
And for men, you have to be at least 35.
Yeah. Okay, so interesting one there. I mean, I thought at least, when I heard about this as well, that it could be at most in the 20s that they put the bands in. But I can tell you from what I've seen, there are a lot of immature people in their 30s.
I was just about to say, I've seen my fair share of older people that are just as silly as young people out at the pubs.
In fact, I think when you get to your 30s, for some reason, something clicks and, I don't know, you just go a bit crazy. There's plenty of wild 30-year-olds out there.
I mean, what kind of drama has the owner of this restaurant been through with younger people to completely ban them?
Literally.
Because I guarantee you there are going to be just as many things going on in this restaurant with the older crowd as there would be with the younger crowd.
And I don't know if it's testimony to, the people we hang out with, Tom, but even if you were to put a ban on, say, under 40-year-olds and say only 40 plus can go in, I've seen some pretty reckless 50-year-olds in my time as well.
I think once you hit the age of 50, you just go backwards. I mean, what are they going to do over there? Would you go get a fake ID so you could go? Imagine a 25-year-old getting a fake ID to pass as a 35.
Yeah. I mean, it could happen. If this place is as, as appealing to go to as people think and it's getting its own internet article, then maybe you would get a fake ID. McLovin is now 30 years old.
That's the thing. I don't know how appealing it really is because in most pictures I've seen, it looks pretty empty.
Bit of a dive.
From a business point of view, a business decision, maybe just open it up to everyone.
Adelaide, let's wind back the clock. The new quiz with a bit of a spin. It's Wheelie Windback Wednesday with Tom and Callum on Fresh 92.7.
Yes, the ultimate quiz game where we spin the wheel and all you have to do is answer some pop culture questions from the decade. What I will say is that Steph, our resident wheel spinner, did come running in a little late, a little bit hasty to the wheel. I hope your legs move as fast as your hands when you spin that wheel because we might be in trouble.
No, I'm over-caffeinated and overwhelmed, okay?
Jeez. Not a great combo.
I know. It's big responsibility.
Do you need a week off?
No, that's all right. I got it. I promise. This is going to be my best one yet.
Right. Well, let's meet our contestant. We're going to Modbury North this morning. It's Libby. Libby, good morning. How you going?
Good morning. I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, good. Thanks. Now, how's your pop culture knowledge? Do you reckon you've got this $50 in the bag?
Oh, I don't know. Not great. Hoping for 90s.
90s.
Hoping for 90s. Okay. All right. Cool.
Well, Steph will do her absolute best to get you the 90s. Steph, spin that wheel. Oh, it's a good spin.
It's not, you can tell by our voice, Libby, it is not the 90s. It's quite far from it.
It's the 2020s, Libby.
All right, we'll give it a go.
Hey,
All right.
All the confidence there. Now, Libby, first question. During the 2022 Academy Awards, actor Will Smith walked on stage and slapped which comedian in the face?
Chris Rock.
That's it. Very
off to
good.
a flying start, Libby. Second question. What rapper has come out saying they are best friends with Martha Stewart? I believe they have a cookbook together as well.
Snoop Dogg.
That's it.
Oh, he's got it.
All you need is this last question, and this is a bit of a definition to a pop culture term. The term Nepo baby was added to the dictionary in 2023. Can you describe for me what the term Nepo baby means, roughly?
Oh, God. I've got no idea. I don't know, COVID baby or something.
Libby, look, I think... we do have one backup question here. We can slide in if you want a redemption round.
Yeah, that'd be great.
All right, let's get the backup question, Tom. It's a movie one.
Let's see. All right, Libby, the first Avatar film was released in 2009. What year was Avatar: The Way of Water film released? Now, remember, it's got to be in the 2020s.
Yeah, we'll go 2021.
Oh, Libby, it was 2022.
Oh, Libby, Thanks so much for playing. It's a Wheelie Windback Wednesday. No $50 to give out today. You've got another chance next week. Every single Windback Wednesday you can play. It's Wheelie Windback Wednesday. Answer some questions and see if you have what it takes to win the $50.
Tom, there's been a bunch of new updates revealed by Apple and what they're going to do with their next range of phones, iPads, computers, things like that.
Yeah.
And obviously, every time this happens, there's huge updates, big, massive stuff. One of the big ones is actually they're teaming up with OpenAI.
Yes,
with
I did
Siri.
see this.
So Siri is just going to get a hell of a lot more smarter, maybe a bit snappier. Push you around a little bit. You know, it's just going to be a proper human in there. So
That's what we all want.
It's just going to be a lot smarter in the sense that you can ask for, menu items. How do I cook this thing? It's just going to be a lot more detailed than what it is now.
So you can cook with Siri.
Yeah. So everything.
If you're single, you're a bit sad and down, you've got Siri.
Well, it really is turning into that movie, Her.
Yeah,
with
Joaquin
Phoenix. Where he
Phoenix.
falls in love with the robot, It would almost be a sentient being. So we'll see what happens with that. Valentine's Day could be interesting this year, fellas. But one of the really interesting things that's come out from this update, and it's got people thinking, hey, it's a little bit controversial, is the fact that they've got this new feature where you can hide or lock your apps from the iPhone home screen.
When you want to hide an app that you don't want others to know is installed in your device, well, now you can hide it and put it in a new hidden apps folder that's locked.
Finally, Apple answered my letters.
They're finally reading what I'm giving them. Yeah, it's an odd one because everyone says, on the surface level, hey, this is great. Because the initial intention is, if you got kids and you don't want them, hopping on your phone, buying stuff on Amazon or, eBay, things like that, then you can lock the apps and your kids can't get in.
Well, the catch-22 is the kids can lock their apps too.
Sure.